The average online course completion rate is measly 5%. Does this mean they're super hard? I don't think so, no. I'm not a statistician, so I'm not here to disprove anybody's work, but I have been through my fair share of online courses to full completion and been able to build an income off them and also broaden my perspective from them for the past 3 years or so. By the end of this video, you'll know the secrets of the 5%. If I had to take a guess, 95% of people that buy these courses go in with the wrong expectations. Self-education is about building out your own personal curriculum filled with various courses and resources that's suited to your own personal gaps in your knowledge and skill, without the expectation that one course is just gonna get you rich right off the bat. The information inside these courses can already be found on Google, YouTube, through podcasts, and even all over social media. It just takes time to stumble across the right actionable information from recommended content inside the infinite echo chamber that is the internet. The algorithm isn't going to recommend you actionable knowledge unless actionable knowledge is the thing that you actively engage with. Listen, the content that you see recommended to you, play a role in that. Alright, just stop clicking on dumb shit. The algorithm is built to keep you on the platform as long as possible, and to do that, they send you stuff similar to the stuff that you've engaged with before. The intent behind the actual good course is to deliver you the very information that you may have seen already, but may have missed because you weren't exactly sure what this actionable knowledge might look like, streamlined from someone who already built out a YouTube channel or built out e-commerce stores, built up an income off affiliate marketing, and found ways to trade crypto or whatnot. The information that they took action on to get to where they are right now. And even though a lot of these course creators put their heart and soul into these courses, regardless of the information being streamlined, you still need to be specific on what skill or trait you're trying to develop. They're just sharing the path they took. The rest is entirely up to you. I better still be fucking filming. You know what happened about 30 seconds ago? I was halfway done filming this video, only to find out that I stopped filming because my camera was filled with space, so I had to start. And I get it, I've been through the phase of buying courses with the expectation that's gonna get me unstuck in life, only to be ruthlessly greedy with the reality that buying the course was actually the tiniest part I could have done. It's nothing like in school where if you memorize and regurgitate the material, after a few years of doing that, you're gonna be rewarded with the credentials to be paid on that topic. Online courses, good ones at least, take an opposite approach. It's not enough to just know the material. You're required to put that skill in practice and apprentice the creator's actions until you can model that skill in your own way. This is so you can remain adaptable to the constant change that the market and the business model that you're trying to make and splash and go through. I was reading a Medium article written by a guy named Joshua Poe, and I actually took two things away from him. The title of his blog that I shamelessly took for the title of this video, and also he was able to sort of like condense exactly what I'm trying to say here. Without applying the skills from the course, your attempts at learning are nothing but a glorified form of procrastination. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here, because there's a whole bunch of stuff we need to cover before you even get into how you pick the course you want to buy. Because before we even devote our time, attention, and energy in this, we got to make sure this is a path that is even worth emulating. Oh, and by the way, my name's Jamil. For more insights and ideas, sign up for my mail list in the first link in the description down below. What does this have to do with whatever I'm doing? Yeah, like before we even absorb information, we need to filter it, so we're not using information that doesn't apply to our situation. Like you may want to build an affiliate income and you've been dabbling with this for a little bit, and getting a general course on the topic might not be the move for you, especially if what you're struggling with is how to identify what you want to market. If you're looking for something more general, you're honestly just better off Googling it. A course more in line around getting clear on your vision and obviously a community full of entrepreneurs and creators that you can bounce ideas off of would probably be a better fit. I don't think the 5% that finish this courses are some special breed. I just think they put up the upfront time and energy to figure out their gaps in their knowledge and skill and avoid the shit that just isn't relevant to that. I took anthropology in university while I was trying to be a computer science major. Take a guess why I ended up dropping out. When you're about to invest your time into something, it's gotta be relevant. Unless you're privileged with the time to just learn a bunch of random shit. And the best way to figure out if it's relevant is to try it out. Okay, usually on the website of a course, there's gonna be like a section that explains all the module in sort of like a point form sort of format. If there isn't one, it's probably a scam. Using this list of modules, try to identify the thing that resonates most with you and that you think could fill in the gap of knowledge or skill or like a trait that you're lacking the most, and try Googling it, like YouTube it, look for like podcasts on it and listen to that first. What you want to do is see what actionable information pops up. When identifying good actionable information, you want to look for a piece of meaningful data that is useful in making a decision or solving a problem. Hey, don't look at me. You're the one who knows your problem, right? All you need to know now is if this piece of data helps you make better decisions, get closer to solving it. Like, actually give this a try and don't gauge whether or not it works based off of like just 1 month of trying it out. Take the approach of seeing if this is a process that you can actually get behind, whether this is something you can actually engage yourself in learning how to get better at and being willing to like make the mistakes until you actually do. Because you'll never get to the point where you completely solve the problem. Solving your problems is like, you know, when you're sweeping the floor with your broom into a dustpan and for some reason you can't get all the dust in there and there's always that little bit of residue. Like you know the line I'm talking about, that forsaken line that just never seems to end and it's infinite and it just never fucking stops. Like if you're here watching this, you've seen ads from courses trying to pitch you on their affiliate marketing strategy or building up a YouTube channel or e-commerce or their cryptocurrency trading strategy and whatnot. And instead of going in blind and taking the leap of starting that course and dropping $500 right away, it's a good idea to see if that's a model you would even like to play around with first. Try the core things of that model out first. So if you're looking to start a YouTube channel, see if you even like the process of making videos first. If you're looking to get into e-commerce, set up a few stores and see if you actually enjoy the challenge of trying to drive traffic to them. Build on a mailing list if you want to market for other companies through affiliate marketing. These aren't big steps, but they are fundamental for your success in these models. The information to learn how to do these are already everywhere, and it's so important to know how to learn outside of the course, because unless you already know how to make progress on your own, that course won't save you at all. With doing something online, you literally have the opportunity to pick whatever you want to do. So I personally believe that with all these options that you can pursue, it makes sense to do something that you would literally do even if you didn't make any money off of it. Because you probably won't make money off of it for a while anyways. Assess how you feel about the process before you go in, and even ask a friend what they think that you could work on so you have a better idea of what you might need to look for in a course. Because if you go guns blazing buying courses without even knowing if you're up for the process, when it doesn't work out, you'll be cursing that model in online courses. When if you're in a different state of mind, if the interest to actually give it a shot, it could have worked out. My beef with anthropology is on me. If I just had the foresight to do my own research a little bit beforehand, it would probably be a different story. So give the process a try and see if you like it. Don't wait on the result. You do this a few times, you kind of get the feel for what's bullshit and what's not. Oh, but everybody's doing it. I guarantee you that one sentence is going to be a downfall for entire economy. Another thing to watch out for is that everyone's doing it fallacy. When we see enough people doing something, we automatically assume it's the right thing to do just because there's so many people doing it. A lot of these marketers use social proof as sort of a way to sort of show you that like the course has worked for like this many people, and some of them can be genuine, but you cannot base whether you get into something off of that one fact. I can't stress this enough. Even if that statistic of 95% of people quitting the courses is remotely accurate, following the masses isn't the way to go. I make that mistake sometimes too. It's shameful to admit, but I was a part of the great rug pull circa 2021 of XRP. Rest in peace anybody who over leveraged that shit. I hope you're doing well. Seeing a whole herd or community of people doing something because a rich person or famous person said it worked, and assuming that'll work for me, forgetting that those people are capable of making mistakes too and have no idea what works for me. A lot of times it's not even the case that people are just lying about what worked for them. It's just that there's this huge bias for what worked for them. Like, I have a huge bias towards things that have worked for me, and it's so easy for me to assume that's gonna be work for other people too. So if you do watch me regular, just watch with discretion. What's worked for me is gonna work for me. I don't know if it will work for you. Like, it might, but you're gonna have to see it for yourself without spending too much of your money and time. Challenge your doubts on something and challenge your beliefs using the actionable information that you found. Don't build theories on why the information is gonna be correct or incorrect. Build off of your experiences from them. It's not enough to intellectualize to understand something, especially in a rapidly changing market. You have to know what it's like to experience the right information and internalize it by actively doing it. It's hard to push your assumptions aside on why something may or may not work. If you can make the effort to understand why something does or doesn't, you're on the right track to figure out how to use this information relative to your own personal situation. Because one of two things is gonna happen. You're either gonna get to the point in your own research and become knowledgeable enough to take the proper actions to become successful at it, or you learn enough where you find out this isn't something for you and you can take what you learned from that and sort of translate it into something else. I've spent 4 months doing door-to-door sales. Like, I'm not knocking doors right now, but I've been able to take the skills I learned from being in front of people's faces all day into making videos right now. And obviously, if an opportunity is super apparent, whether it's gonna be good or bad, just use common sense. Like, don't think just because drug dealing is a known bad thing that like maybe there's an opportunity you can squeeze yourself into the market. We always hear the thing that's 9 out of 10 businesses fail, when that's totally wrong. 10 out of 10 businesses fail. Just like in nature, the ones that survive are the ones that are most adaptable to change. To have the best takeaway from the things that we learn requires us to change and grow from our failures. We tend to already accept the parts that already make sense to us and tend not to explore the parts that don't. Like, you can understand something and still be incorrect, and even though it's incorrect, it still may be worth your time to understand, just to broaden your perspective. Who do I listen to and when do I find time to do it? Oh, my back's busting. Well, honestly, listen to everyone. Assuming you got your filtering strategy down, just listen to everyone. You don't have to do what they say, just hear them out. There's 2 ways to go about this: listening with intent and listening without intent. Like, if I'm looking to find the gaps in my knowledge, I usually like to listen to things without intent first. The whole point of the strategy is to, as much as possible, separate the topic from the person delivering it. We have a natural tendency to gravitate towards people with similar views. And because of that, we might miss out on information from people who don't believe in the same things that we do. By becoming more knowledgeable on the topics that we want to dive deeper into, you can then be better equipped to know what a good online course might look to us. And you might be in the midst of making a huge lifestyle transition, which takes up a lot of time. So finding time to listen and to immerse ourselves into these topics, a little tough, which is why I turn to listening without intent first before I put my energy, my attention, my time into something. Because listening without intent allows you to throw this information on while you're at the gym, while you're out for a run, while you have some downtime at work, or while you're even playing a video game. Listening to a podcast while you play a video game is the biggest life hack. Just simply immersing myself on the topic I wanted to improve on. When you're in the midst of building up a more alternative career, whether that's gonna be trading stocks or crypto or building out e-commerce stores, all the way to building up a brand, it's going to require an alternative way of doing things, methods and ways that you can only learn through experience. Like, if each video I make, I'll literally just be like whipping out my dinner and I'll be thinking of ideas while I throw on the podcast. Usually within that 2-hour time frame of me listening to that podcast while I'm cooking, an idea might spark inside of me. And as soon as I feel that spark, I write it down. Like, look at all the ideas I wrote down that I turned into videos. Pretty cool, huh? Plus, you get your chores done and a hot meal. It's a win-win. It's about giving the topic that you're trying to learn the opportunity to present itself a different perspective than the one that you already have. If you're listening to the same variation on perspective that you have, you're not going to be able to pull out new ideas. And I know investing that time seems like a lot, but like, while you're working out or cooking or doing any sort of activity, that time you spend doing the activity is going to pass anyways. You may as well fill it with the opportunity to at least learn something new. Then after you listen without intent, you can revisit that topic at a later time. You can purchase a course and know that the topics inside that course will maintain its relevancy to you. And when you sit down and apply your full attention to learning it, you won't have to worry about if you're wasting your time and energy on it. Becoming a wise old person at a younger age. With all this noise in the space, with all these people selling you and sharing you all this information fluff, it's not enough to just gain knowledge. What we need to build and have been building on in this video is our wisdom. Wisdom being able to have the ability to see things that other people can't see, and to be courageous enough to explore into the things that we don't know. When we think about a decent course, a course that shares all the right information, the information is provided to both the people that finish the course and the people that quit. The ones that finished the course saw the opportunity and the place to deploy the most valuable resource that we have, our attention, on exploring the things that they didn't understand, rather than stop when the conclusion inside their head on how the world works didn't align with what they're trying to learn. A good example of this would be when I first started telling people about cryptocurrency at sort of the end of 2020. I told everybody what I thought was gonna happen based off of the research I had done using the methods that I talked about in this video. I can't keep my mouth shut about things and opportunities. This is exactly why I have a YouTube channel instead. Some people went on to make thousands, others went on to take what they learned from diving into the space, into put it into something that's more aligned with actually what they wanted to be doing. And others thought it was a scam and missed out on the opportunity altogether. The lens in which we view the world are limited by our beliefs on how the world works. When we assume that something should work the way that we think it should, we miss out on the opportunity to learn and figure out what we could take away from that. And all that's required for us to do so is to make the effort to look elsewhere, outside the perspective that we see the world. All I'm saying is hold a spot in your mind to at least consider the optimistic possibility, and that you still have so much to learn no matter at what stage you're at. We just have to find a way to fit the pieces together as we explore the vastness of knowledge that's thrown in our face daily. And thank you so much for watching. That's it for this video. Make sure you sign up for my mail list in the first link in the description for more insights and ideas and other stuff too. There's some other stuff there you might want to check out. But yeah, anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
I had a dream I could buy my way to heaven. When I woke, I split